Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Let me say it again. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
And how are all of you this afternoon?
Good, sir. Good, sir.
I too am fine, giving thanks and praise to Allah, working hard in His name, trying to make my word my bond. I want to say how excited and full of excitement and joy I am at being a part of this very historic occasion. It's very special to me in one sense because this is actually the first public event that I've done in about 5 years. I haven't.
Yes, sir.
I haven't been anywhere. It started out, with the COVID, and then my mother broke her neck, and I spent 4 years taking care of her. And that took all of my attention away from some of the things that I had previously been involved with. Now, as Rev said, I play the trombone too. So I want to just say that one of the reasons that I agreed to be a part of this program was simply because I was asked to be a part of it by Rizza Islam. And I accepted it without hesitation because Rizza Islam had a very wonderful mother. And may Allah be pleased with her soul. Anytime that you see greatness in a man, like you see in our brother Rizza, the question that has to be asked is, who was his mother? Because you don't get greatness like that unless there was a great mother.
That's right. Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
Maybe a father too. But certainly, without a doubt, there had to be a great mother.
That's right.
You may not know it, but Dr. Hanan Islam and I were business partners.
Come on now.
We tried to operate a clinic. We did for maybe about a year, right, Rev? In Compton, and then because of politics and other issues, we weren't able to continue with that. But I was not really surprised when I learned that Brother Rizza had developed a supplement, and I didn't know much about it. And to tell the truth, I still don't know much about it. And I'll tell you why I don't know much about it. It is because of the research that I've been conducting with that product. Now, one of the difficulties in doing research is research bias, the placebo effect, and other confounding factors that skews the results. Normally in scientific research, it's done by what they call double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. That's difficult to do by yourself. So I blinded myself. What do I mean by that? I tested intellectual power, but I didn't read what was in it. I didn't even read the package insert. I didn't look up anything. I just took the supplement and tested it to see what it really was without any bias on my part.
Teach, brother. Teach.
Or any bias on the part of the patients that I gave it to. Not only didn't I know what was in it, because I deliberately did not read it. And I didn't tell them what was in it. Why did I take it? I took it on trust.
That's right.
Now, I did some other things too to make sure that my trust was well founded. And it was. And the people that I gave it to, they took it because I told them to. And they trusted me, and they didn't ask me any questions about it. So therefore, the results that I'm going to present are unbiased.
Teach, Doc.
They're not influenced by somebody's opinion about what they think these ingredients are. See, I'm not as smart as Dr. Parks. I'm not as smart as Dr. Judy Mikovits. I don't know all of the chemistry and the biochemistry and all of those things. I'm not as smart as you, Dr. Ross. But I do know a thing or two.
Come on now.
And I'm able to find some things out that cannot be refuted. That does not mean that I am the one that has the scientific explanation for everything, but I am the one who can verify that what I say is actually true.
Amen. Teach, Muhammad.
Now, before I'm done, I'm going to ask 2 or 3 of you to volunteer. I want someone to volunteer who maybe has a brain fog kind of a situation. Anybody like that here? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to call on 1 or 2 of you as volunteers. In other words, I'm going to prove that this works. I want a young person. How about you? I'm talking about, yeah, you. I want you to volunteer. And then do we have, they introduced me as an elder. Do I look like an elder to you? Come on now, play fair. But there may be an elder in the audience. And so if I have a young person, an elder, and then somebody that, has some brain fog or issues like that, memory problems, then I'll demonstrate, how effective this product actually is. But before I do that, let me say that, and I'm sorry we don't have the slides. One of the most important slides I was going to show is the whole basis for this attack against the reproductive health of our community. And it was a chart, that's a demographic chart showing the population trends across the globe. And it goes out to the year 2050. So if you look at the population trends in America, the trend is a flat line that gradually goes down. The population is decreasing. That has everything to do with reproductive ill health. If you look at the demographic trends in Europe, same thing. Reproductive problems. Australia, New Zealand, the entire Western world, population decline. I mentioned last night the Deagle report, where it is predicted that ultimately the American population will be down to 69 million people from 337 million. Now that is not going to be accomplished just through interference with reproductive issues. This is a full-scale, total war against the entire global population. Now I mentioned the demographic trends for Europe and America going down. What's the demographic trend for Africa? What's the demographic trend for Asia? So what we are witnessing is the decline of a portion of the human population. We are suffering a decline ourselves because we are hooked up with the people who are in decline.
Come on now.
See, I'm an old school Muslim from the Nation of Islam. What was the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to black people in America?
Separation.
Do for self. So you complain about the food they feed you. Why don't you grow your own? You complain about the soap they give you. Why don't you make your own? You complain about the education. Why don't you educate your own children? You talk about the problems in the delivery ward. Why don't you deliver your own children? Do for self. If you just accepted the idea and the responsibility of doing for self, you would understand that 90% of what has been complained about in this session would disappear if you just did it for yourself.
Teach, Muhammad.
You wouldn't hurt yourself.
That's right.
You wouldn't kill yourself. You wouldn't poison yourself. You wouldn't grow poison food for yourself. So why are you eating poison food and drinking poison drinks and surrounded in an environment of poison? It is because you're under the control of your enemy.
Teach Muhammad.
What do you think your enemy is supposed to do to you? You act like your enemy is not your enemy.
Teach Muhammad.
How foolish and dumb is that? Here's your wide open enemy that's been killing you since you ever had contact with them, and now all of a sudden you're shocked because they're still killing you?
Teach Muhammad.
When were they not ever killing you? You know, you have politicians like Trump. They like to refer to the original intention of the founding fathers. Have you ever heard that talk? What the founding fathers thought about this and that. Well, what did the founding fathers think about you and me?
Teach Muhammad.
What vision did they have for you and me 200 years later? They would be turning in their graves if they knew that we were still alive. Because that's not what their intention was. Their intention was to work us to death. The only problem was we didn't die.
Come on now.
So now let's face up to reality. I wish I did have one other slide, because I did a sky report, a sky analysis, a spectral analysis of the sky in Los Angeles this morning. The air quality in Los Angeles today is a -9. It should be a +10. The reason why it's a -9, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. You got it? Yeah, I do this on a daily basis for myself. It's a part of my survival project. I'm trying to keep myself alive.
That's right.
And I know that if I breathe poison air, I'm going to get sick and die. So now all of you today have been breathing dangerous air. I list it as extreme danger because the Los Angeles air toxicity profile for today contains radioactive elements from Fukushima, hazardous chemicals that include dioxins and benzene. They all cause cancer. The COVID-19 agent, whatever that actually might be, is in the atmosphere. Mold spores. So there's a recent epidemic of fungal illnesses, fungal pneumonias, incurable in fact. So they say. Aluminum, barium, strontium, and wouldn't you know it, nanoelectronics. One reason for the aluminum in the, you can have your phone back, brother. One reason for the aluminum and the barium in the chemtrails is to make the atmosphere more conductive of electromagnetic radiation. They say this is to enhance communication speed. Now, of course, if you are inhaling air that is full of aluminum, that makes you more conductive. That makes you more explosive. Now, I didn't actually check to see if there's graphene in the air today. Probably there is. Usually when I find nanoelectronics, along with that you'll find graphene. Now, if you inhale graphene, aluminum, the nanoelectronics, then you have been wired up. What are the nanoelectronics that we're talking about? Well, these nanoelectronics were developed by a Harvard professor by the name of Charles Lieber. If you go to the Harvard University website, that's one of their major claims to fame. Dr. Charles Lieber invented nanoelectronics. Charles Lieber's father was also a professor. What did he invent? He invented the communication satellites that are in outer space that handle the GPS and all of the rest of the satellite technology, surveillance technology. So father like son. Father develops global surveillance technology to watch everybody on planet Earth from outer space And wouldn't you know, little Junior, he comes up with electronic surveillance from the inside that can be injected. So in every one of those COVID-19 shots and other vaccine shots, they shouldn't even be called vaccines. They contain nanoelectronics. Well, what are the nanoelectronics that are in these shots and in the chemtrails? The same nanoelectronics that's in your cell phone. And if your tissue has been made more conductive,
Yes, sir.
then just like your cell phone receives and sends signals, well, then that's what's happening inside your body. Satellites are sending signals to you. Ordinarily, the skin is pretty much an insulator. Electricity can't penetrate your skin. But now that you are infused with nanoelectronics and aluminum and other metals, now you are conductive to electricity. So now look at what's happening. Satellites are what? The highest ones are like 20-some thousand miles up. Then you have lower layers. The ones in the lower layers are, and there's 4,200. The goal is to get to 42,000 satellites. Those are controlled by Elon Musk. So now Elon Musk and Neuralink, in concert with DARPA, putting the electroconductive chemtrails into the atmosphere. You and I down here on the ground, breathing it all in. Don't you see what's being created? The real life matrix.
Come on now.
The real life matrix on planet Earth. What do you think happens to chemtrails that were in the sky yesterday? The nanoelectronics, the barium, the aluminum, and all the rest of it. What happened to it since yesterday? It's settled down on the ground.
Teach, Muhammad.
It's on the ground. If I tested the ground, I would find out what was in the sky yesterday. Well, how many days have they been spraying chemtrails? So how many layers are on the ground? Who knows what 3D printing is like? Do you know what 3D printing is? It's an additive process where you just layer by layer, you just build something up, build something up, so build something up. So what's being built up on the ground layer of planet Earth? An electronic matrix that's connected to an atmospheric matrix and an outer space matrix and the matrix within you.
Yes, sir.
Because you have been exposed to all of these things, you have inhaled it, you have ingested it, and it's near impossible to get rid of some of it, despite what some people say. Let me make a quick remark before I go any further. Last night, there was a man here who used my name in vain. He claimed that I was doing things with a product that he was promoting. All of that was a lie.
Right. Yes,
I don't know anything about that product. I never used it, and he just used my name.
yes, sir.
So please, I didn't want to disrupt things last night, but people shouldn't do that. So, what is the nature of the so-called vaccine campaign that's been going on for 5 years? So you have a man in the White House who gives himself great credit for developing a vaccine at warp speed, even though the patent for the so-called vaccine existed years before. He was preceded in office by Barack Obama, who set up bioweapons laboratories in Ukraine. Also, they set one up here in California, by the way. You need to check into that. I think it's here in LA. It's run by the Chinese. But from those 46 bioweapons laboratories have come all of these pathogens. Seems like every 6 months there's a new epidemic. The bird flu, the monkeypox, Ebola, all of these other things. You know, some of them have traditional names, but they've been weaponized. They've been upgraded. Everybody knows that Anthony Fauci, NIH, the entire Health and Human Services Department of the government, they were all involved in this. The FDA was involved in it. The CDC was involved in it. So it means that the entire structure of government is a part of a depopulation agenda. And you are the victim. There's no one coming to your rescue unless you save yourself.
That's right.
And you save yourself best by being informed, by being knowledgeable. And that's what the value of an event like this is, that you have real people giving you real information that is useful information.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to be as practical as possible. I'm not trying to be theoretical. I'm not necessarily trying to even be all that scientific. What I am trying to be is effective.
Come on now.
Yes, sir. That's where to be.
So now, let me go over some of the results of the little clinical research that I've been able to do. I think I found out about intellectual power, maybe 6 weeks ago? Yeah. So it hasn't been all that long. And then I talked to Rev and Rizza. They sent me some samples. Since that time, I've looked at, I think 33 patients, and 24 I've studied in some detail, and 3 or 4 I've studied in very deep detail. And the general assessment, if you want to know, hey, the stuff works.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It works. It works. Now we can get into some of the details of how it works. So when I say it works, maybe I should qualify that a little bit. It works for those who it works for. If it works for you, it really works. If you are what I call a non-responder, and there were some people who did not respond at all, then it doesn't help you at all. So in a very random study, don't take these figures exactly as gospel, but on average, 56% of people responded. 56%. There were 36% that did not respond. And then there were a small 8% who there was just no change at all. They were kind of in the middle. Now, the responders, those who did respond, maybe I can show this to at least the people in the front row can see it. So, those who responded, I mean, you can just see the lines, I guess. What we have here is the baseline. This was their baseline starting. And then the height of these red lines shows the increase in the function of their frontal lobes, the frontal lobes of their brain. So on average, those who responded to the supplement, they had a 280% increase in mental function. Now, yeah. That's tremendous. And I'll show you how I did that. I'll show you how I arrived at these findings, okay? Now, included in these patients here is me. I tested myself. And I had a 150% increase in my intellect. But that wasn't the top. That wasn't the top. I had 3 individuals who had a 400% increase in mental function. 400%. I had 4 who had a 300% increase in mental function. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 who had a 200% increase in mental function. And in fact, out of this group, I was the lowest one. So overall, a 280% improvement in generalized mental function. Now, one of the things that needs to be done, Rizza, is to be a little bit more specific, and do some memory testing, IQ testing, all that kind of thing, so that you can see different aspects. I'm just giving a very general, global account of improvement, but that can be specified quite a bit more. Now, let me take a look at one of the patients who is a friend of mine, and she was willing to participate in the study. She's a school teacher, and her initial exam before taking the supplement, you know what, maybe I should do the demonstration first. Then you'll understand what I'm saying when I talk about her. So who's my first volunteer? Come on, come on.
How you doing, Doctor?
I'm doing fine, how are you doing?
Hope to be doing better.
Why don't you take that off?
Yes, sir.
See, you were talking about fabrics. See, he shouldn't wear that fabric. That's blocking his energy.
Take this off too.
No, this is cotton, isn't it? Yeah, see, you need to wear natural fibers, cotton, silk, linen, and wool, okay?
Yes, sir.
This actually blocks your energy. See, you're radiating energy. You have an aura. And what I'm going to do is interact with your aura. But if you had your jacket on, there wouldn't be an aura to interact with. You got me?
Yes, sir.
So why don't you step back up here? So what I'm going to do, now this what I'm doing, this technique is called autonomic response testing. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what I want to do, you're going to hold your arm there. I'm going to put a little pressure on your arm, and you're going to match it. You're not going to muscle wrestle me.
Okay.
You're just matching.
Okay.
Okay. A little bit more. A little bit more. No, don't move your arm. Just
Okay.
hold it steady.
Yes, sir.
Hold it steady. A little bit more.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we're even, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me put this down. So now we're even. What happened to your arm? It went down. Let's see. Push back. So what happened?
I can't.
So what happened? When he's holding his arm, his autonomic nervous system is in the sympathetic mode.
Right, yes, sir.
When I challenged him, see, you have a chakra around your mouth, a chakra there, chakras different places, 360 really. And when I challenged one of those chakras with my chakra in my hand, it switches him to parasympathetic. And parasympathetic is weak. That's how my sister used to beat me up. She used to tickle me, and that would get me to laughing. And that would switch me into parasympathetic, and then she could beat me up. So now, the basis of this is showing that the intelligence of the body, the autonomic nervous system is the intelligence of the body. It's binary, just like a computer. It's yes or no. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test the frontal lobes of your brain. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
So it's strong, right? See that? Now I can ask the question, how strong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So normal is 10. So you're at a 9. Now, where's the supplement? This is the intellectual power. Just hold that in your hand. Push back. Your arm is strong, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
How strong?
How is that possible?
How is that possible? Now let's see how strong he is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So he went from a 9 to a 16. The frontal lobes of his brain. Now Rizza, are you paying attention?
You listen, paying attention.
See, now this is called intellectual power, but what else does it do? One of the things I discovered accidentally was it improves the immune system. So you hold that there. So now this is his thymus gland here, right behind the breastbone. And that's the master gland of immunity. So let's see how strong his immune system is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, perfectly normal. Hold the supplement. Push back. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it more than doubles his immune power. That's as good as a 3-day fast.
Praise be to
Yeah, really. So thank you very much. Okay. So we have another volunteer. Who has the brain fog? Okay.
right here.
So how are you? Can you pull it here? So let's see. You saw how we did that, right? Now you're using too much force. You're just matching me, and I'm just using a little bit, tiny bit more now. Yeah, that's about right. There you go. See that? See how that feels? Match me. Okay, so see, I'm testing her to make sure her nervous system is working right. If her autonomic nervous system was not working correctly, then the results wouldn't be valid. So I just proved that her nervous system is working like it's supposed to. So now we can go ahead and test, and we can rely on the results. So let's see what her frontal lobes are like. Push back. You got, yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Say only a 6. So it should be a 10. That means you got brain fog. Okay, push back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, the immune system is about 80% of what it should be. Let's see if the supplement helps. Push back. Match me. Push back. Okay. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Do you feel smarter? Push back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so her immune went from 6 to 12, and the brain went from, 9, or what was it? 6. It was a 6, it went all the way to 20. Yeah. Give her a hand. No, wait, one other thing. All I did was show that this helps you. But what's the dose? See, there's a dosage written on the bottle, but what does this have to do with her? She may need more or less than what's written on the bottle. So let's find out how much she needs. I mean, the general instructions are fine, but they're not personal to her. So let's see what we can find out. So we use this one now. Push back. You got it. Now let me put this in your hand. So that's 1 capsule. She's still strong. 2 capsules. Still strong. 3 capsules. And she goes weak. Okay, so her right dose is 2 capsules. 2 capsules for how long? Well, ask the body. If you want to know something, don't you have to ask somebody? Isn't this a body? So I'm asking it, how long should she take 2 capsules a day? How many days? Push back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For 12 days. Then what happens after 12 days? Then you need to be examined again to see where you are at that time. And then the reality of it is a truly health-promoting supplement or dietary supplement soon diminishes down to 0. Because ultimately, isn't it true that we really shouldn't be taking any pills? Isn't that really true?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're taking supplements and pills. Why? Because we're in trouble. But the reality of it is, ultimately, we shouldn't be taking anything like this. We should be allowing our food to be our medicine, right?
Jeez.
But we're in trouble right now, so we got to do what we got to do to get out of trouble.
Come on, Muhammad.
So thank you very much.
No, that's
You
right.
know what your dose is, okay? So now let's take a look at the case I mentioned before. Now you know how I actually conduct the testing. And you can see it's very direct. I'm not interpreting blood tests, I'm not interpreting x-rays, I'm not interpreting anything. I'm just directly in communication with the body. Why would I need blood tests to tell what the heart is doing when I can examine the heart? Why would I need a scan to know what the brain is doing when I can examine the brain? But if you don't know how to do that, then of course you do need to get an x-ray. You do need to get blood tests if you don't know what you're doing. Now this individual, I wish I could show you her picture. As I mentioned, she was a school teacher, so brainy, pretty brainy person. So she started out with brain function that was a plus 12, normal being 10, she was a 12. I gave her dose was also 2 capsules a day. And when she took 2 capsules a day, her brain function went from a 12 to a 24. In other words, it doubled. Her immune function went from a 10 to a 20. Also, it doubled. After a week, her permanent brain function was a 20. In other words, the before treatment was 12. She treated herself for a week, and then that 20 became permanent. Wow. It did not regress. At the 4th week, the brain function still remained at a 20, which is twice normal, and her thymus gland, the immune system, continued to improve. Wow. So on the last exam, her immune function was at a 32. Coming from a 10 to a 32. Now, Rizza, here's something that we need to pay attention to. When I examined the 2 groups, I mentioned there were 2 distinct groups, those that responded and those who responded dramatically. Then there was a non-responsive group. So when I talked to Rev about this, his intuition was those people have evil intentions. And so when I went back and looked at the people who did not respond, I didn't really know all of them, but about half of them I know personally. And Rev, you were spot on. These are people, oh, you got the slides up. These are people who have bad intentions. So then when I said, well, okay, how can I measure that? How can I measure somebody's intentions? How can I measure whether they're good or bad? Well, that's the pineal function. The pineal gland is the spiritual connection that we have. The pineal gland is like an antenna. It connects you to divine and transduces divine energy into, mental energy and other energy that is useful in the body. And so if you measure the function of the pineal gland, you're measuring whether or not someone actually does have a spiritual connection or how strong it is. If someone has a weak pineal, then it means you're dealing with an individual who is morally bankrupt. You're dealing with an individual who does not know the difference between what right and wrong. You're dealing with someone who does not know the difference between truth and falsehood. So when I tested the non-responders, that's what I found out. Their pineal function was negative. It means that they did not know truth from falsehood. They didn't know right from wrong. They didn't know good from bad. These were people without a moral compass, just going through life, with no guidance. And so it seems, Brother Rizza, that this supplement won't help such people. It won't help them. People with strong pineal function, like this individual, her pineal is testing at a 20. So that's a very enlightened person, morally and spiritually.
How do you test the pineal function?
I'll test yours. I'll show you how to do it.
All right.
It's very simple. So the pineal is a part of what I call the Holy Trinity. You have the pineal, the hypothalamus gland, and the pituitary. And they're right on top of one another, right? Okay, so right in the center of your head is where those three glands are.
Okay.
So let's get you calibrated here. Push back, match my force. Okay. Push back, push. Okay, push back. Now this is, push back. That's your pituitary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's fine. Push. That's your hypothalamus. That's fine. Push back. This is a so-called third eye. Push back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. See, that's why you're so smart. So you got a 17. Okay. So again, that saves me a lot of words because you can easily see what that does. Now, what did we forget to do?
You either try it with the...
Come on then. Let's do it right. Let's see what this does for you. Push back. See, it makes the strong stronger. Push back. Let's get it. About 33. From a 10 to a 33. Okay, so let me wrap this up. We are in the midst of a depopulation agenda that's global. Do your research. Go look up the Deagle report, DEAGLE.
There you go.
And you will understand what we're talking about. The attack on the reproductive health of our community is only a part of that depopulation agenda. Now, if you look at that slide there, would you go back to the original one? See, this is the real threat. See, 4 years ago, the threat was the doctor with the hypodermic syringe and you being threatened with the jab or your job. And most of you were smart enough to avoid it. But are you smart enough to avoid this? See, if Joe Biden said that he vaccinated 227 million Americans, it means that 2 out of 3 people that you are in contact with are vaccinated. The doctors yesterday, they talked about vaccine shedding. This is the worst vaccine shedder of all. So if you are around vaccinated people, they are shedding on you. Their breath is the breath of death.
Right. Yes, sir.
In their breath is the spike protein, is the nanolipid particles, and all of the rest of it. Skin contact is deadly. Sexual contact is deadly. And so if you were smart enough to avoid, shall we say, the first salvo, see, this is war. So you ducked the first salvo. Many people didn't. How many millions of people died over the last 5 years? Millions. The reason why they're calling some of the doctors back to the hospitals, the nurses back that didn't get the jab, because the other doctors died.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
When Elon Musk says that we're paying out millions of Social Security checks to people that don't exist. Why don't they exist? Because they were killed. And so Trump is just checking up to see, well, since I was last president, how many people have we killed? He's doing an inventory, an accounting. So now you escaped the first salvo. What about the second salvo? I showed you the Sky report from today. The COVID-19 agent is in the chemtrails. It's in the atmosphere. How are you going to escape this? See, in other words, you have to up your game.
Teach Muhammad.
What do they say Anthony Fauci is guilty of? Gain of function. Well, what are you guilty of? Not gaining function. Where's your function gain? What research are you doing to up your game so that you can match the escalatory attack against you? Your enemy is not sitting still.
Come on now.
Now they're coming out with this new pandemic called the bird flu. It's the same playbook that they did with the COVID-19. I think there's only one person in the world that ever died from bird flu. But that doesn't stop them from developing the next vaccine, the next mRNA vaccine, which has been upgraded. You're not still driving the same Toyota you were driving 5 years ago. So they're not giving you the same vaccine they gave you 5 years ago. They have what they call a self-amplifying vaccine now. Self-amplifying goes beyond what I showed you there. Self-amplifying means that once you get one shot, that vaccine itself, it replicates itself. It's almost like it's a living organism inside your body.
That's what it is.
And what does it do? It integrates itself into your genetic DNA. So therefore, the people who receive this shot have become genetically modified human beings. So when we talk about detoxing such people, the difficulty level is the same difficulty level as trying to treat somebody born with a genetic disease. How can you alter someone's DNA once it has been changed? Well, the truth of it is, if they changed it that way, then it's possible to change it back the other way. But we are the ones that have to do that research to discover how that can be done. The truth of it is, nobody has discovered that yet. There are a lot of good-meaning people, including myself. I have a spike protein protocol, but I would be lying to you if I told you that it's going to save your life. It might prolong your life. It won't save your life. So in other words, the work is not done. The work is just getting started. And it is the work of a lifetime.
Yes, sir.
Because it's your and my lifetime that is at stake. If we don't solve this problem, then we are going to go extinct. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
So I really thank Brother Rizza and his staff for this excellent opportunity to share some of my thoughts with you. Of course, in a limited time like this, there's only a limited amount of things that you can do. Let me just close by saying that you can keep in touch with me. You can keep in touch with me on a weekly basis. I do a weekly program on Zoom and Facebook, Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called the Your Immunity Project.
Beautiful project.
The Your Immunity Project is on Facebook and Zoom. On Wednesday nights, I do a program called the 19th Element. That's also on Zoom and Facebook. Then on Sundays, with prayer and fasting, here's Brother Malik, I give a lecture every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with prayer and fasting. So a lot of the details that I would like to share with you Obviously, I don't have time to do it. But if you tune in on a regular basis to the Your Immunity Project, then over time, we all will become educated enough and proficient enough that we will be able to mount a counterattack to the attack that is being waged against us. So thank you for your kindness and your attention. May Allah bless you with the light of understanding. Assalamu alaikum.